Graph Inc. is a printing solution nationwide and the only place I do my printing business. Hello, everyone. It's me, Joey Dean. When I need business cards, flyers, banners, or even just graphic design, I call on my friends at Graph Inc. They can print you pretty much anything and have it arrive at your door in short order. Scale tickets, carbon sheets, or whatever you need printed. The professionals at Graph Inc. will make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. They're a 24/7 printer too, so don't worry if it's 7 p.m. on a Friday. They will still make sure you're taken care of. Find them online at gigc.us. The only place I trust for my printing needs is Graph Inc.
Advances in technology have made hearing a more fashionable thing. Gone are the big, bulky hearing aids of yesteryear, and in are more sleek, modern, and connected devices. Connect to your TV, your phone, and the world around you. If you are having trouble with hearing, then schedule a free hearing test at Miracle Ear of Southwest Kansas with convenient locations in Dodge City, Garden City, and Liberal. More and more people of all ages are starting their journey towards better hearing, and you can too. Visit miracle-ear.com today to schedule a free hearing test. Miracle Ear of Southwest Kansas. You deserve to hear a better day.
Hello everyone, this is Harrison again to tell you about Spike's Cafe. Spike's Cafe is the place you want to take your family for breakfast or lunch. Trust me, they even cater. So if you have a party, they will bring the food to you or their food truck to your event. Spike's Cafe is the best. My dad takes me a lot of places to eat, so I know what I'm talking about. Spike's Cafe is open Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And on some Fridays they stay open until 8. So check out their Facebook page for specials or today's hours. Spike's Cafe, only in Ingalls, Kansas.
Is that trash bin starting to smell a little funky? Then it's time to set up a monthly or quarterly subscription with MC Bin Cleaners. Or even just a one-time cleaning. Currently serving Dodge City, Mineola, Cimarron, and Ingalls. They don't just rinse out the bins, they clean and sanitize them, getting rid of not just the smell, but harmful bacteria and germs like Salmonella, E. coli, Listeria, and more. Plus, a clean bin helps keep rodents away. They supply everything, too, from the water and the cleaning products to the disposal of the dirty water. No mess left behind. Cleaning both the residential and commercial bins. Follow MC Bin Cleaners on Facebook and TikTok and visit their website, mcbincleaners.com. Subscriptions starting as low as $20. Locally owned and operated, cost-effective, and eco-friendly. Visit mcbincleaners.com today. If you need a place to cash your paycheck or are looking for a little extra cash, stop by AAA Pawn and Armory. AAA Pawn and Armory has a wide selection of slightly used items such as TVs, guitars, golf clubs, tools, jewelry, and more. They also have a large inventory of rifles, shotguns, and handguns, as well as ammo in stock. So whether you are looking for your next firearm, TV, or other item, or you just need to cash a check or pawn something for a little extra money, don't go anywhere but AAA Pawn and Armory, 132 West Kansas Avenue in Garden City. That's right, binge warmers, it is Ridin the Pine right here on Dry River Radio. Happy Friday to you. Happy May 29th, the day after my birthday. That's right. It is Ridin the Pine, presented by AAA Pawn and Armory, 132 West Kansas in Garden City. Glad to have them as a sponsor. If you haven't checked them out, at least look at their Facebook page, the AAA Pawn Shop Facebook page. It's tagged in on our online stream right now, our Facebook stream. So go to the AAA Pawn Shop Facebook page. They've got a firearm given away. They keep doing these firearm giveaways, and they're awesome. They had one that they posted yesterday. I don't know if there's still tickets, but they were going to go fast because there was only 30 tickets available, $30 each for a brand new firearm. So your opportunity to do that, all you got to do is go to their Facebook page and follow their directions there. And you can always stop in and see them as well, 132 West Kansas in Garden City. Lots to get to in the show today. Of course, opening day was yesterday for the Garden City Wind. We're getting a little late start on the show today because I fired everything up. I hit broadcast, and my computer said, no, I need a restart. That's how much stuff I've done the last couple of days preparing for opening day. I had to do a last-minute restart on my computer to be able to do today's show. So Got it going though, and we're rocking and rolling here on a Friday. It is just past noon on Friday. Excuse me. And as of right now, we don't have any weather in the area. There is a chance of severe weather later this afternoon, though, and could affect tonight's ball game between the Wind and the North Platte 80s. Garden City got the win last night over the 80s. Opening day was a lot of fun. First inning home run from Connor Ozika, who ended up with 3 hits on the day en route to his Golden Corral Player of the Game honors. The Wind jumped out to a 6-0 lead, and it really looked like that this team was going to be an offensive juggernaut as hits came in bunches. There was a couple of home runs. Ozika and Lewis both homered. It was a very good performance by the offense, and then all of a sudden they kind of hit a wall, which happens. I mean, you scored 6 runs in the first 3 innings. You're allowed to kind of hit a wall. Unfortunately, so did the pitching staff at that time, and giving up a grand slam. Suddenly it was a 6-5 game. Then North Platte took a 7-6 lead, and it was like, uh-oh. And Garden City was able to battle back and scratch across a few more runs. They ended up leading at 9-7 going into the 9th. Nico O'Donnell gave up a monstrous home run to make it 9-8, but he shut the door the rest of the way, and the Garden City Wind got their opening day victory by a score of 9-8. I was really impressed with Peyton Walters, who came on. The hometown kid came on in relief and struck out the side. They had the hat passed for him for that. It was a great performance from him. Solid performance overall from the team. I would give the team as a whole probably a B. There's things that they could improve on. But it was opening day. Everybody had things they could improve on. We had things in the broadcast booth we're working on already today. I've been up since 6 o'clock, 6:30, 7, somewhere in there is when I got up, and been working at it all day so far. And we'll be working into the afternoon and all the way up until first pitch probably. And we're trying to get our end of things in working order because it's opening day. You have things happen that you don't expect. Yesterday we had a board decide to just quit working right at first pitch. So that was a lot of fun, let me tell you. So we're gonna move some things around today, but we'll get our broadcast in order. The umpires have things they're working on with the pitch clock and everything, because there was 5 different times that pitch clock violations could be called yesterday. Only once was it called. And at one point I started counting how long it was at 0, and I got to 6 or 7 before the pitch was finally thrown. So the umpires have things to work on as well. So everybody's got notes after opening day, but the important thing is the Garden City Wind got the victory 9-8. So they're sitting at the top of the standings, and that's where they belong. That's where they hopefully will stay the rest of the season. North Platte's not going to be a pushover there. This is going to be interesting because North Platte is going to be a tough team throughout the season, and they showed that. And with the new revelation of how things are going to be handled moving forward with the end of the game. So if you didn't hear the broadcast yesterday, a new rule this year in the Pecos League, you get 10 innings. That's it. If it's tied after 10, it's a tie. No ghost runner on second, no craziness, just straight up, it's a tie. And the whole effort is to preserve the arms of these teams because they're playing 50-some games in 60 days. And so, there's only so many pitches that you can throw. And so the idea is to avoid extra innings. Here's what I don't like about this. First off, ties don't belong in baseball. We had a tie in the All-Star game. Remember that? And then they changed the formatting of the All-Star game, made it worth something, quote-unquote. Made it home field advantage in the World Series if you won the All-Star game. We don't need ties in baseball. This isn't Europe. We don't need to do this. Heck, it's almost insulting as a baseball fan to have the possibility of a tie. Baseball, everybody keeps trying to shorten the game. Major League Baseball's doing it, with the pitch clock and the ghost runner at second and this and that. The nuances of the game are being lost. The universal DH has taken away the double switch, which we had a double switch last night. The strategy of a game is being taken away. And there used to be, a cat and mouse thing between pitchers and guys on base that are about to steal a base. Now if you throw over twice, he's going. You can't throw over a third time. The pitch clock, I don't mind the pitch clock. And I think that it's actually one of the few good things that have been added to the game. However, there's so many other things that have been wrong, including the ghost runner at second in extra innings, which I would rather have than a freaking tie. It is absolutely ridiculous that a professional league, which is what the Pecos League touts itself as, a professional league will allow its games to be ended in a tie. And it's going to cause all sorts of problems by the end of the year. I'm predicting that now, because there's going to be ties to be added in. There's already an unbalanced schedule by the end of the year because of rainouts. I know California, they play a pretty balanced schedule because they don't have rainouts. They had one 2 days ago for the first time in 10 years. They don't have rainouts in California. The Mountain Division has rainouts. And so by the end of the season, it's an unbalanced schedule. Now you're going to add ties into the mix? Give me a freaking break. That is a joke. That is absolute amateur hour. Play to win the game. Not to tie. This isn't soccer. It's not acceptable to have ties. It's not hockey, where ties were okay in the regular season. It's baseball. You're not going to allow... people throw a fit when the NFL has overtime and they end in a tie. People throw a fit about it. And baseball is designed that you keep going. It's absolutely ridiculous. I get the premise for it. I get the whole saving the arms in your bullpen. And trust me, there were times that Garden City could have utilized that over the history of the years. But here's the thing. It's baseball. It's not meant to be played in a box. It's not meant to be played in an hour and 15 minutes. Unless that's what the pitchers are doing. It's supposed to be a leisurely game. And if you get bonus baseball, that's even better. A freaking tie. But yeah, that's what it's going to be in the Pecos League in the regular season this year. You get one extra inning. You get the 10th. That's it. Which is just ridiculous. But either way, it's going to affect these two teams. Garden City and North Platte, very even, by the way. And that was on display last night. And North Platte's pretty good. And these two teams are going to end up tying each other. I'm predicting that now, at least once. There was a number of times that they went into extra the last couple of years. And it is becoming more of a rivalry because Trinidad's on the schedule less and less each year because Garden City and Trinidad can't get along. Because anytime they get together, there's a fight and there's some kind of drama. And so the league says, you know what? We don't need to have 12 games between Trinidad and Garden City. 3's fine. And so Garden City's got the luxury of playing North Platte a bunch. And they're not that far away from each other, about 4 hours or whatever. 3.5 hours, I think, to North Platte. It's not too far. So in proximity, they're the closest between the North teams. Blackwell's 5 hours away. Trinidad's 5 hours away. So they're the closest two. and it's becoming quite the rivalry. So, and of course, the fans giving Todd Everlith, the manager of North Platte, giving him all they got last night. As the last 2 years, he's found himself on the other side of the fans in Garden City. They're not a big fan of Todd, and he's embraced that. That's the role you play on the road against your rivals. You are the villain. And North Platte understands that, and they've done a good job over the years playing the villain. And Garden City, they do the same thing when they go on the road. Of course, it's everybody. They get everybody's best shot now because the Wind are no longer the Wind of 17 and 18 who got kicked around and just thumped by Trinidad and thumped by Alpine. This is a franchise now that has back-to-back Mountain North championships in the regular season and has found success every year. They've made the playoffs every year since 2019. So they're going to get everybody's best shot. And hopefully, new manager Ted Brocksterman understands that and can lead this team through those waters because it's a tough task, especially following what Easton Barnes was able to accomplish in his 2 years in Garden City. Teddy's got big shoes to fill. And it's going to be difficult, and there's going to be some times where he's going to have to figure it out. And that happens every year. Usually late June, there's a little bit of a lull with this franchise for whatever reason. Late June, there's a 2-3 game losing streak. Years past, those were 5-6 game losing streaks. So we'll see when adversity hits. But last night, adversity did hit. The Garden City fell behind. After leading 6-0, they fell behind 7-6. And you thought, whoa, that's a problem. But they rallied and came back. And that's encouraging to see, especially on opening day. And there's been, last year I think it was play at the plate to end opening day. Opening day has been eventful over the years in Garden City, and the Wind get the win last night for their opening day. Across the league last night in the Pacific, Austin over Martinez 6-5. It was Bakersfield 5-2 over San Rafael. In the Mountain, Tucson beat Alpine 7-4. Pecos all over Roswell 25-5 was the final of that one. Back-to-back nights putting double digits up on the Invaders. 13-7 on Wednesday, Thursday 25-5. Pecos, the Bills. They can score some runs. Carlos knows what he's doing down there. Santa Fe over Grand Junction in their first game in the Pecos League. Santa Fe beats them 3-1. And of course, Garden City 9-8 winners. Today in the Pacific, it's Bakersfield at Martinez. Austin at San Rafael. And then in the Mountain, it's Alpine at Roswell, Tucson at Pecos. We'll see how good Pecos really is. Trinidad's at Blackwell. They got rained out the last 2 nights. We'll see if they can get in a game today. Grand Junction at Santa Fe. And, of course, North Platte is at Garden City. So those will be the games today across the Pecos League. But interesting start to the season. I thought, when Garden City took the lead they did, I thought, okay, they're just going to run away with this one. And then North Platte, to their credit, the 80s fought back. So that's great for North Platte. I'm not sure. I'm looking at the standings on the Pecos League website, and they're all weird. Grand Junction and North Platte in first place, both 0-1. Garden City tied for last at 1-0. Okay. They need some work on the Pecos League website. It's a newer website, by the way. They have updated the website at least. It looks a lot cleaner, but the stats and things need to be updated a little more. And we're still trying to figure out some of those things ourselves. As long time, since the inception of the league, it was Point Streak that was used for all the stats for the games. And this is the first year that it's not Point Streak. We switched over to Presto Stats, so I'm still learning all the nuances of that. And then same with the video streaming. Since its inception, it was Meredix carrying the video stream, and this year switching over to Vimeo. And so that's been quite the experience trying to get all that sorted out as well. So that's why we had issues yesterday on our broadcasts, and I think we figured out why it wasn't coming through clean on the radio broadcast. It was on the TV, but not on the radio, and I think it was a cable. Something as simple as that you don't really prepare for. I mean, you do, but you don't expect it to actually happen. And so I think we've got that remedied here today. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk a little bit about college baseball. The Kansas Jayhawks underway right now against Northwestern State, and they are hosting their tournament, their regional tournament. There were some teams that were left out, and some teams in the SEC that got in that probably shouldn't have. We'll talk a little bit about that bias, and of course college football as well. As there's a beef between Texas Tech and Texas. We'll talk about that coming up after the break. This is Ridin the Pine, presented by AAA Pun and Armory, right here on Drive River Radio.
Graph Inc. is your printing solution nationwide and the only place I do my printing business. Hello everyone, it's me, Joey Dean. When I need business cards, flyers, banners, or even just graphic design, I call on my friends at Graph Inc. They can print you pretty much anything and have it arrive at your door in short order. Scale tickets, carbon sheets, or whatever you need printed. The professionals at Graph Inc. will make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. They're a 24/7 printer too, so don't worry if it's 7 p.m. on a Friday. They will still make sure you're taken care of. Find them online at gigc.us. The only place I trust for my printing needs is Graph Inc.
Advances in technology have made hearing a more fashionable thing. Gone are the big bulky hearing aids of yesteryear, and in are more sleek, modern, and connected devices. Connect to your TV, your phone, and the world around you. If you are having trouble with hearing, then schedule a free hearing test at Miracle Ear of Southwest Kansas with convenient locations in Dodge City, Garden City, and Liberal. More and more people of all ages are starting their journey towards better hearing, and you can too. Visit miracle-ear.com today to schedule a free hearing test. Miracle Ear of Southwest Kansas. You deserve to hear a better day.
Hello everyone, this is Harrison again to tell you about Spike's Cafe. Spike's Cafe is the place you want to take your family for breakfast or lunch. Trust me, they even cater. So if you have a party, they will bring the food to you or their food truck to your event. Spike's Cafe is the best. My dad takes me a lot of places to eat, so I know what I'm talking about. Spike's Cafe is open Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And on some Fridays, they stay open until 8. So check out their Facebook page for specials or today's hours. Spike's Cafe, only in Ingalls, Kansas.
If you need a place to cash your paycheck or are looking for a little extra cash, stop by AAA Pawn and Armory. AAA Pawn and Armory has a wide selection of slightly used items such as TVs, guitars, golf clubs, tools, jewelry, and more. They also have a large inventory of rifles, shotguns, and handguns, as well as ammo in stock. So whether you are looking for your next firearm, TV, or other item, or you just need to cash a check or pawn something for a little extra money, don't go anywhere but AAA Pawn and Armory, 132 West Kansas Avenue in Garden City.
Welcome back, bench warmers. It is Ridin the Pine right here on Drive River Radio. I'm your host, Joey Dean. Glad to have you along. H behind me as he's just hanging out today in a messy studio because everything got ripped apart to take to the ballpark for opening day. So I got some cleaning to do this weekend. Dan Hubbard's supposed to be on the call for the Win games this weekend, as we'll have some guest play-by-play guys for some of the road matchups. And so be looking for Dan Hubbard to do that coming up starting tomorrow with the games in North Platte. In college baseball, the University of Kansas hosting a regional. So here's the thing. Mercer missed the college baseball field. They won 44 games. They finished in the top 30 in RPI. They had wins over big teams. They ranked among the national leaders in home runs. And they were left out of the tournament. Instead, Kentucky gets in, and barely. They were the last team in. Because SEC gets more value in baseball as well, just like in football, than those smaller schools, even though a lot of the smaller schools are really, really good at baseball. East Carolina coming to mind right off the top of my head. Wichita State has a national championship. The small schools in baseball, the playing field's a little more even when it comes to baseball. And Mercer's one of those schools that's very, very, very good. And they deserve to be in the tournament, especially over a team that had a closer to 500 record. And just because they were in the SEC, they get their ticket punched. And you can talk about strength of schedule all day long. But the fact of the matter is, and I've said this about college football as well, you don't know until they get on the field and play. You can theorize all you want at how bad Oklahoma's going to beat Boise State in the Fiesta Bowl. But until they go onto the field and play, you don't know. And of course, we know now Boise State upset Oklahoma. But we didn't know. It was assumed Oklahoma would just roll with it. It's assumed that because Mercer's a smaller school, they're not as good as a Kentucky. They're not as good as an Auburn. And it's just not true. And if only there was some way we could settle this on the field. Oh, wait. Yeah, there is. And it's led to, the whole strength of schedule argument has led to this feud between Texas Tech and Texas in college football, which there's a feud anyway. They're rivals. That's the way it is. But Steve Sarkisian made a jab at Texas Tech about their strength of schedule. Texas Tech's AD Kirby Hocutt responded and said, quote, "We were in the college football playoff last year. I forget who Texas had in the first round last year," end quote. Then Texas Tech upped the ante and has said that they will buy out both ACU and Texas State, which is who Texas and Texas Tech have week 1. They will pay the buyout for both of those teams to go play each other so Texas Tech and Texas can play each other. I think that's fantastic. And I think that should happen. And not because of strength of schedule, but because college football is built on rivalries. The history of college football cannot be told without talking about intense rivalries. Oklahoma and Alabama. Oklahoma and Notre Dame. Notre Dame and Michigan. Notre Dame and USC. Michigan and Ohio State. Kansas and Missouri. Kansas State and Iowa State. Texas and Texas Tech. TCU and SMU. You can't talk about college football and tell the history of college football or any parts of college football really without talking about the rivalries. And we have lost sight of that over the years. Just like the Pecos League has lost sight of what baseball truly is, and Major League Baseball, for that matter, has lost sight of what baseball truly is. Just like that, we have lost sight of what college football truly is. And it's regional rivalries. And sometimes not regional, in the case of Notre Dame and USC. Sometimes you just hate each other. But we've lost sight of that, and with all the moving of conferences and trying to bolster this conference and, the SEC's the best in all sports and blah, 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 it's simply not true. I don't really feel like you can sit there and tell me one conference is head and shoulders better than another. Because the top 2 teams might be, but the other 14 are not. So you can say the best 2 teams in the nation come from this conference, but you can't say that that's the best conference because I remember when Vandy was a dog crap program in college football. You got Rutgers, and Northwestern bringing up the rear in the Big Ten. And in years past, Nebraska was one of those teams. You've got bad teams in the Big 12. You got bad teams in the SEC. So let's get over the freaking conference. Oh, my conference is better. And a lot of that comes from ESPN touting the SEC as the end-all, be-all conference. ESPN is the worst thing to happen to sports in the history of sports. Yeah. Because ESPN changed the way we consume sports. And in doing so, inadvertently changed every game that we care about, including baseball and including college football. Because of ESPN, we lost Missouri and Kansas year after year. Because of ESPN, we've lost Texas Tech and Texas. Because of ESPN, we've lost Pitt and West Virginia and some of those other rivalries. No, we didn't lose Ohio State and Michigan. We didn't lose Auburn, Alabama. We didn't lose the big money ones, but the other rivalries that matter to those communities, to those fan bases, we lost those. Because they just didn't generate enough money for ESPN, because ESPN is a money-grubbing piglet. Because if there's a dollar to be made, ESPN's going to do it. They are the definition of corporate greed. And they have ruined so many sports because of it. College football is never going to be as good as it once was. It's the minor leagues now. I said 8 years ago on this show, when it was on the other radio stations, Snipes, Brungard, and I had a conversation about college football and how it might as well just be classified as minor league football and treated as such. Don't have requirements to go to class. Have the teams run by the schools, but they're professional teams. They're the minor leagues. Might as well just do it that way. And lo and behold, here we are in the transfer portal and everything else, the NIL era. And that's all it is. You can't tell me these kids are going to school. So enough with the student-athlete crap. That's not what they are. These are now professional athletes. They're getting millions of dollars at 18 years old to throw a football. And the same goes for, or is going for, baseball and basketball. They're not far behind football in being ruined by money in college athletics. Now, the smaller colleges, your NAIA schools, your JUCOs, it's a little different. I remember growing up in Lynchburg, Kansas, and going to Bethany College on a game day football Saturday. And the campus just being alive. And you didn't care about anything other than for Bethany beating Kansas Wesleyan. And for K-Dub beating Bethany. But there was just a feeling in the air. I don't get those feelings anymore. I used to have that feeling for college football. I'd get excited about Saturdays. Now it's on every day of the week. And it's just not the same. And baseball's become that too. And the NFL's starting to become that. It used to be Sundays were for the NFL. Saturdays were college football. Sundays were the NFL. Now you have NFL games all week long. And multiple Thursday games. And multiple Monday games. It used to be marquee to be on Monday Night Football. That was the thing. Hank Williams Jr. did the intro. That was, oh man. You did. You waited for Monday Night Football. All your rowdy friends were coming over. And if it was Chiefs Raiders or Chiefs Steelers, man, my house was rocking. Because those are the games that were making it on there. Like, I remember watching Monday Night Football I was H's age, 8 years old. I remember what a big deal that was. And now it's just another night of football. And that's because money got in the way of everything. Because ESPN pushed their product, and it changed how we consume sports and how we look at sports. It changed how a baseball game is played. It changed how college football is scheduled. And it changed who does and doesn't get into the postseason. And it's very clear. The fingerprints are all over it that ESPN, having rights to a big chunk of the college baseball world, they didn't want Mercer in there. Mercer doesn't get the eyeballs that a Kentucky does or an Auburn does. Who cares about who's the best team? We don't want to find out who the best team is. It's a freaking popularity contest. We'll let certain teams in because we have to, because they won their conference. But if a team that's really good didn't win their conference and they're a small school, well, tough. Because that's not what we're here for. We're not here to find the best team. We're here to find the most popular team. That's how ESPN has changed sports. And it's absolutely ridiculous. Love to hear your thoughts. Shoot me a text. 620-222-0898 is the number. Feel free to shoot me a text. And even if you're listening to the podcast of the show, which, by the way, the show is available on podcast about 20 minutes or so after the conclusion. It'll be available on your favorite podcast download site, whether it's Spotify or Apple Music or Amazon or YouTube or whatever. And you can listen to the podcast, download them. But even if you're listening to it, you can text me anytime. I don't care. Just shoot me a text on the text line. 620-222-0898. If I'm asleep, I'll see it when I wake up. But I'm always interested in everybody else's thoughts too, especially on things like this. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll touch on the Western Conference Finals as we go to Game 7 there. And we'll make the picks for the week. This is Ridin the Pine. It's presented by AAA Pawn and Armory. Visit them at 132 West Kansas in Garden City. They are the place you want to go. If you want some gently used items, TVs, electronics, guitars. I've bought a couple of guitars from them. Boards. I might have to go buy a new board just because. Jewelry. I bought my wife's engagement ring there. You can check them out. 132 West Kansas in Garden City. We'll be back in a moment. This is Ridin the Pine, presented by AAA Pawn and Armory.
Graph Inc. is your printing solution nationwide and the only place I do my printing business. Hello everyone, it's me, Joey Dean. When I need business cards, flyers, banners, or even just graphic design, I call my friends at Graph Inc. They can print you pretty much anything and have it arrive at your door in short order. Scale tickets, carbon sheets, or whatever you need printed. The professionals at Graph Inc. will make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. They're a 24/7 printer too, so don't worry if it's 7 p.m. on a Friday. They will still make sure you're taken care of. Find them online at gigc.us. The only place I trust for my printing needs is Graph Inc.
Advances in technology have made hearing a more fashionable thing. Gone are the big bulky hearing aids of yesteryear, and in are more sleek, modern, and connected devices. Connect to your TV, your phone, and the world around you. If you are having trouble with hearing, then schedule a free hearing test at Miracle Ear of Southwest Kansas with convenient locations in Dodge City, Garden City, and Liberal. More and more people of all ages are starting their journey towards better hearing, and you can too. Visit miracle-ear.com today to schedule a free hearing test. Miracle Ear of Southwest Kansas. You deserve to hear a better day.
If you need a place to cash your paycheck or are looking for a little extra cash, stop by AAA Pawn and Armory. AAA Pawn and Armory has a wide selection of slightly used items such as TVs, guitars, golf clubs, tools, jewelry, and more. They also have a large inventory of rifles, shotguns, and handguns, as well as ammo in stock. So whether you are looking for your next firearm, TV, or other item, or you just need to cash a check or pawn something for a little extra money, don't go anywhere but AAA Pawn and Armory, 132 West Kansas Avenue in Garden City.
Welcome back, bench warmers. It is Right in the Pine right here on Dry River Radio, final segment of the program. Like I said, if you missed any of it, you can, of course, download the podcast or check it out, dryriverservices.com. And you can also watch the video on Facebook Live. They store it for 30 days, and then they delete it. So you can watch it as well, and you can see my messy studio in the video. The Royals have struggled, lost 3 in a row again. They now sit at 22-34, 12 games under 500, 10 games back of the Guardians in a division that is very winnable. And you think, okay, if they just go on a win streak, well, they're going to have to go on a couple of win streaks. They're 3-7 in their last 10 games. And they've lost 3 in a row. Detroit's worse than them by half a game. I don't know how. Detroit was poised to be the team that won this division. And here we are, the Guardians, the White Sox, and the Twins ahead of the Royals and Tigers. That just blows my mind. The Royals have not been good here of late, and they got the Rangers tonight. We'll get to the picks on that here in just a little bit. At least they have a starter in Kolek who has actually pitched very, very well. As far as the Western Conference Finals go, the Thunder lost last night to San Antonio. That's the only game of these finals that I've not watched yet. I plan on watching tomorrow for Game 7 in Oklahoma City tomorrow evening, or at least listening to it on the radio on my drive back from Wichita, and then watching it when I get home. But either way, Western Conference Finals, Game 7, all-deciding Game 7 in Oklahoma City tomorrow. It doesn't surprise me that the Thunder lost yesterday in San Antonio. These are two of the harder places to play in the NBA, Oklahoma City and San Antonio. And the fact that each of them have stolen a win on the road to put home court back where it should be is crazy. But the Thunder need to hold serve tomorrow, and I think they will. They're going to be in front of a very raucous crowd. This is the finals to me. You know, the winner gets the Knicks, but I just don't feel like any of the teams in the East stack up to the Spurs and the Thunder. They were two of the best teams all throughout the season. They had some epic games throughout the season. And now here in these finals, they've had some epic games. And they've had their stars show up. You know, SGA and Wemby have both showed up. Chet Holmgren's been good for the Thunder. Caruso was insane the first couple of games of the series. You know, Fox getting injured played into this whole thing. I mean, it's been quite the series. And it all culminates tomorrow with game number 7 in Oklahoma City. I'm going to take the Thunder in that one, by the way. I think they win. I think they're going to win the whole thing. They're going to be back-to-back champs. Getting through the Spurs is going to be tough. But I feel like they get through the Spurs, and it's not going to be that big of a deal. I mean, it'll be a big deal. It's the finals. But I just don't – I'm not scared of the Knicks at all. Not at all. Not one bit. Looking at the Pecos League today games, let's see here. Helps if I click on the right thing here. Or maybe. There we go. Games today in the Pecos League. Bakersfield is at Martinez. I will take Bakersfield. Austin at San Rafael. That's actually going to be a pretty good series. I'm going to take the Weirdos. They're the travel team out there, and they've been playing well to start the season. Alpine at Roswell. Give me Alpine. Pecos hosting Tucson. This was a playoff matchup last year, and they went the full 3 games in that series. Extra innings in some of those games as well. Give me the Pecos Bills. They've been scoring a ton of runs. I like what Ramon and everybody, Carlos, is doing down there in Pecos, Texas. So give me the Bills over the Saguaros. Trinidad and Blackwell, can I just say it's going to probably be rained out again? If it's not rained out, give me the Flycatchers. Grand Junction at Santa Fe, I will take Santa Fe in that one. And Garden City and North Platte, of course, give me the Wind.
Major League Baseball, 6:40 Eastern on the Braves Network and the Reds Network. It is the Braves at the Reds. Give me the Braves. 6:45 Eastern. Padres at Nationals. Give me the Padres. The Nationals have played very well here of late, by the way. Twins at the Pirates. 6:45 Eastern. That'll be on Apple TV. Give me the Pirates at home. I like the way the Pirates have been playing. The Blue Jays at the Orioles. Orioles starting to fade. The Jays starting to figure it out. One game under 500. 7:05 Eastern on that one. SN1 and Masson, give me the Blue Jays to get to 500. 7:10, Red Sox at the Guardians. Give me the Guardians at home. They've been playing exceptionally well, and they've taken over that Central Division. 7:10, the Angels at the Rays. I will take the Rays at home. 7:10, Marlins at the Mets. The Mets, wow, what is going on there? Just not good. 10 games under 500. Give me the Marlins on the road. 7:15, Cardinals and Cubs. That's a nice rivalry right there. Go Cubs, go on the road in St. Louis. 7:40, the Tigers at the White Sox. The surprising White Sox. 2 games over 500 are the White Sox. The Tigers, 13 games under 500. The pitching has just not been there for the Tigers, and I expect them to trade Tariq Skubal at some point here in the next month or so. But give me the White Sox at home. 8:05 Eastern, the Royals at the Rangers. Man, the Royals have just been playing awful, but Kolik's pitched well. He's got a 2.77 ERA on the year. Facing Mackenzie Gore, who's 3-4 with a 4.42 ERA. It's in Texas, but give me the Royals to snap that 3-game losing skid. 8:10 Eastern, Brewers at Astros. The Astros kind of scuffling along. They did this last year, too, before putting it together. Give me the Brewers, though, who are playing very good baseball. That NL Central still just insane. Every one of the teams, all 5 of them, are over 500 in the NL Central. That's crazy 2 months into the season. Giants at the Rockies at 8:40 Eastern. Give me the Giants on the road, though the Rockies not far behind the Giants in the standings. 9:40 Eastern, the Yankees at the Athletics. The A's were in first place, and then they kind of hit a skid. Now they're in second place, half a game back of the Mariners in the AL West. All 5 teams in the AL West, by the way, below 500. Yeah. The A's just a half game out, though. They've lost 3 in a row. I think they snapped that losing skid against the Yankees tonight. The Yankees have won 4 in a row. But give me the A's and Luis Severino. 10:10 Eastern, Diamondbacks at the Mariners. Zach Gallen going for the Backs. Kirby going for the Mariners. Kirby used to be a Minnesota Twin pitcher, if I remember right. Give me the Diamondbacks. They're over 500. The Mariners 1 game under 500, somehow in first place. That's crazy. And at 10:15 Eastern, the Phillies and the Dodgers. The Phillies finally back up over 500. They are sitting in second place in the NL East, 8.5 games back of the Braves, who have been ridiculous. The Dodgers in first place, 4.5 up on the Diamondbacks and the Padres. Zach Wheeler going for Philly. Give me Zach Wheeler and the Phillies on the road. That game on Apple TV tonight. So that is the picks for today. Of course, got games all weekend. You'll have Garden City Wind Baseball right here on Dry River Radio tonight, starting at 6 o'clock with our pregame show. And then the same the next 2 nights, although I think it's 5:30 start times for the pregame show each of those 2 nights. But in the meantime, the Garden City Wind will be trying to stay perfect on the air. 1-0. And it was fun last night. There was a good crowd on hand. And like I said, it was a lot of fun to be there for another opening day. This is my, 9th season. Would be 10, except, is that right? 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yeah, this is my 9th season. Would be my 10th if 2020 hadn't happened. My 10th season with the team, but 9th season overall because 2020 happened. But 10 years I've been going to win games, and I've had 9 opening days, and last night was up there. I think last year's, if that's the one, it was last year or 2 years ago that there was a play at the plate to end the game. It's my favorite one. But last night was a lot of fun, and I think there's a lot of promise with this win team. Looking forward to the season. You can come out tonight. It's Western State Bank Night. It is also K-Man Night, presented by our friends at AAA Pawn and Armory. If the K-Man strikes out, it's dollar beers for the rest of that half inning at the Windy Saloon in Clint Leitner Stadium. So come out and enjoy some baseball. 6:30 first pitch scheduled. And you, of course, can listen to the game right here on Dry River Radio and watch it at pecosleague.tv. That'll do it for today's show. Big thank you to all of our sponsors, and thank you for listening. This has been Ridin' the Pine, and it is presented by AAA Pawn and Armory right here on Dry River Radio. See you tonight, everyone.